All right. Welcome, everyone. We're going to wait just a couple of minutes here for more folks to pile in. Thanks again for tuning into our webinar on how to diversify your donations and a quick intro to crypto philanthropy and non-cash asset fundraising hosted here by the Giving Block. All right. Wait just another minute or two for folks to get in here. Would love for everyone to put in the chat what organization you're with and also where you're calling in from. Always fun to see where our attendees are located. Go ahead and drop that in the chat if you get a moment. Awesome. Rebecca from Children's Airway First Foundation. Thanks for joining from chilly Detroit, Michigan. Some folks from Colorado, Massachusetts. Tim from the UK. Welcome, Tim, from across the pond. Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Wait just a little bit longer for more folks to join, and then we can get started. I'll let you know, I hate to tell you all this, but I'm actually calling from sunny and 75 Miami, Florida. So I know a lot of the country is experiencing snowstorms, and I apologize in advance if you're in some bitter cold, snowy parts. But it is nice and warm here in Miami, Florida. All right. Let's go ahead here and share my screen. Slideshow now. All right. Well, thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. I hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday. And just a few housekeeping items before we do get started. This webinar is being recorded and it will go out to all of you in the next couple of days. So please do drop any questions in the chat as we go along, and I'll answer as many as I can towards the end of the presentation. We'll try to leave maybe 5 or so minutes to address any of those questions, either in the chat or in the Q&A. So another quick thing before we do get started, I want to give just a quick introduction of myself. My name is Andrew Wilcox. I joined the Giving Block in the fall of 2021, and actually prior to joining the Giving Block, spent most of my career working in fundraising. So I've worked in higher ed advancement as a major gifts officer, and most recently was a director of development at a children's medical services nonprofit. I've really enjoyed the opportunity to help hundreds of nonprofits increase and diversify their fundraising efforts in partnership with the Giving Block's non-cash fundraising solutions and services. All right. And really, for today, my goal is to get everyone comfortable with some crypto basics and really a high-level overview of non-cash asset fundraising and how this all works here at the Giving Block. All right, let's go ahead and dive in. All right. So just to give you a brief summary of who we are, the Giving Block is the leading crypto philanthropy platform connecting nonprofits and non-cash asset donors. We are the best at two things. Number one, equipping nonprofits with the technology, strategy, and support to securely and effectively fundraise these non-cash assets. And number two, we are the best at empowering donors to easily give these assets to the nonprofits they love worldwide. We really developed the first all-in-one fundraising solution to securely accept crypto, stock, and DAF donations. And what really makes us unique is that we provide expert education, strategic guidance, and technical support to maximize fundraising outcomes for our clients. Our unique giving platform connects donors with thousands of vetted 501c3 nonprofit organizations, and it all happens in just a few clicks. All right, let's go ahead here and drop in the first poll of the day. Let's launch this here. The poll is, what is the biggest priority for your fundraising team right now? you could just take a quick moment here to answer this question. I would love to just kind of see, it's the beginning of a new year. What's everyone kind of thinking about when it comes to fundraising and strategy, and maybe some just big topics or big ideas that we're going to focus on this year here in 2024. All right, wait just another moment. We've got some awesome answers coming in. Thank you, everyone, for putting in your answers here. All right. Looks like we've had a good amount of folks answering here. All right, let's go ahead and end this poll and I can share the results. All right, as you can see here, the majority of you here are focused on new donor acquisition. That's a big one. When I've done these webinars in the past, a lot of folks, a lot of fundraising teams are focusing on how do we acquire more donors, new donors, more donors. Maybe it's a new donor demographic. We'll definitely focus on that here a bit today. Another big one is diversifying revenue. I think you've come to the right place. If that's going to be a focus or a strategic priority for you in your advancement shop moving forward this year in 2024, a lot of what we're doing here and talking about at the Giving Block is helping our nonprofits to diversify existing and new fundraising revenue streams. Then a couple more here, increasing gift size and attracting younger donors, all really great answers and things that we'll touch on today. All right. Let's go ahead and move forward here. And just really a quick outline for our webinar today. Number one, we're going to focus on fundraising with non-cash assets. Number two, we'll get into more of the opportunity for crypto, stock, and DAF donations. And then number three, of course, how it works. We understand that, a lot of this is going to be brand new to a lot of the folks that we're chatting with, and just want to kind of go over from a high level how this all works. Number four, we're going to go over some philanthropy trends, what we're seeing, and some really interesting insights from our annual report, both from 2022 and actually some numbers that we're going to focus on even a little bit more here from the most recent 2023. And finally, going to be some key takeaways. And like I said, please, just a reminder, any questions that you have, please feel free to drop those in the chat and the Q&A. We'll definitely get to those here towards the end of our time together. So section one, fundraising with non-cash assets. And really just a quick kind of overview of the state of philanthropy. This is going to be something I know a lot of you are familiar with, right? It's the focus on, hey, is giving down, as a whole. And you can kind of see here, down 10.5%. Giving is down 3% according to Giving USA reports, and really down 10.5% after you factor in inflation. Now, that's going to be number of total donors down, right? Total number of donors down, although the average gift size is up over the past couple of years. And then the last point there, you can kind of see, of course, inflation, market dynamics. Inflation rates are still high, which is going to be putting individual giving at risk. Next slide here, why diversify your fundraising? You can see here, future proofing. This is going to be the big one right here at the middle of the screen. This is something that we're constantly talking to our nonprofit clients about, is making sure that your nonprofit is not only successful this year, but is going to be successful 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. That's why a lot of what we focus on here at the Giving Block, especially on the non-cash asset giving side, it's all about major gifts and planned giving. These are going to be the most recession-proof giving channels. And by just simply accepting and opening up your organization to these non-cash assets, that's going to help you kind of build out and future-proof your fundraising program, and also help you kind of connect with maybe the younger sort of high net worth donor base. The big one here on the left, and I know what a lot of our folks are talking about nowadays, are DAFs, donor advised funds. You can see the big number here, 250 billion. That's the rough number of cash that's actually sitting in donor advised funds right now. And a lot of what we're doing here at the Giving Block with one of our solutions and services is our DAF solution, is trying to make this process of getting the cash that's sitting in existing DAFs over to our nonprofit clients as quickly and easily as possible. And then the final one there, you must ask. That's another big one that we're going to focus on today, especially when we come to the younger investors, younger folks that might be looking to support your organization. A lot of times they're not actually working with wealth advisors or tax advisors, which means really at the end of the day, you need to connect with and cultivate these relationships with these young folks, because that's how you're going to be able to get these asks to those younger folks. All right, section 2, cryptocurrency, stock, and donor advised funds. We're going to do just one more quick poll here. Let me go ahead and launch that. Stop sharing. All right. Which non-cash assets do you currently accept? If you could just quickly take a couple of seconds here to maybe mark down which are going to be the most common non-cash assets that you currently accept. Or maybe you don't accept any at this time. That's totally okay. We do work with a ton of nonprofits who, this might be their first year really focusing on building out an actual non-cash fundraising strategy. So if you could drop that in here, maybe you're accepting stock, maybe you have accepted disbursements from existing folks or donors who have donor advised funds. Maybe you're accepting all. That would be great too. So just let me know here in this quick poll. All right. Thank you for that. All right. So I will share the results here. You can see we do have a few folks, a few organizations represented here in the webinar that do not currently accept non-cash assets. You can see a number of folks said that they do and have accepted disbursements from donor advised funds. A few organizations accepting stock, and then actually a few that are already accepting both stock and crypto. That's awesome. And even one or two people that are actually accepting all of these different things. So kudos to you for being ahead of the curve there. Go ahead and close that down. All right, so this is probably going to be one of the slides that might be of most interest to some of the folks here. This might be some that are a little bit new to this. So just to begin, what is crypto? I'm going to really try to keep this pretty high level. So the easiest way for me to explain this is crypto. It's a digital store of value, kind of like a digital money. In order to transfer units of cryptocurrency, users need a digital wallet to send and receive crypto. In a basic way, you can kind of think of a digital wallet like a bank account that you can personally own rather than actually paying a bank to keep it for you. So one of the most incredible things about crypto is that you can actually send it anywhere in the world in just a number of seconds. If I send crypto from my wallet, I can actually send that crypto, can reach someone, say, in Ukraine or Uganda almost instantly with just a simple internet connection. The blockchain for a cryptocurrency is just a public, unchangeable record of all transactions happening in that currency. You can see here, cryptocurrencies used code to really create the first asset class with both unchangeable transaction records based on that blockchain, and then also an unchangeable supply. So that's going to help, for any sort of counterfeits. Next here, let's just talk a little bit about the actual scale of crypto users, both here in the US as well as worldwide. And I think really the scale of crypto users might actually shock you. Check out this huge user base, 300 million active users in crypto. As a comparison, the United States has just over 330 million people in it. So almost the entire crypto user base is about the size of the United States. And also, as you can see here, based on the graphic, believe it or not, there's actually 108 million verified registered users on Coinbase. And that's just, Coinbase is just one of the crypto exchanges of many. And that's actually larger than both Charles Schwab and Fidelity, who have 33.9 million and 83.4 million users active, respectively. So this is a really great large donor demographic for you and your organization to tap into. Not only is this a large user base, crypto users are also super active. Again, the scale may kind of knock you off your feet here. Stablecoin settlements surpassed $7 trillion in 2022, which is significantly more than MasterCard's $2.2 trillion. For those of you who are new to stablecoins, it's simply a cryptocurrency that just sort of trades dollar for dollar. It's one-to-one with the US dollar. Another cool statistic here is in 2021, Ethereum, a popular cryptocurrency, moved over $11 trillion, surpassing Visa, who actually transacted about $10.4 trillion during the same time period. So I know a lot of people are used to the idea of crypto or Bitcoin as investments, right? Purchasing cryptocurrency and holding these as an investment. But this is also a very, very active user base where people are actively trading and using this cryptocurrency much differently than maybe folks who actually invest in stocks, where they're kind of passively investing and holding the stock. This is a very active user base. All right, we'll go ahead and click here. Just a little bit more on the actual user base of cryptocurrency. And this is going to be one of the most important things that we discuss with our nonprofit clients. Part of the reason why folks are interested in crypto and using this as a means of fundraising is partly because of what this user base, what this potential donor demographic really looks like. So number one, 94% of crypto users are millennials or Gen Zs. So typically folks in their mid-20s to maybe early 40s. Another good one, 83% of millennial millionaires invest in crypto. And then another nice one, average crypto user's income is $111,000, which is much greater, obviously, than the national average. So not only are these young people, they're also wealthy, they're tech savvy, they're financially literate, and they're typically pretty engaged in social media. Another easy way for you to kind of connect with these folks, through digital means or social means. One of the things is that we focus on a lot is, many nonprofits have a donor base that are slowly aging out, especially on that major giving side, where we tend to find that most of our nonprofit clients on the major giving side, those folks are typically anywhere from maybe age 50 to maybe in their 70s. Crypto really provides nonprofits with multiple generations of untapped potential, especially on that major giving side. And as you can see here, crypto donors are generous. They're young, they're wealthy. This first graphic here, Fidelity, this is actually from Fidelity. They did a great study a couple of years ago. They found that crypto donors are more likely to donate over $1,000 than maybe other investor and peers, which might include investors in stock. So 45% of folks actually that own cryptocurrency donated $1,000 or more to charity. And then again, just kind of hitting this home, the average crypto donor is in their 30s, which again is probably quite different than the age of existing donors. And we do tend to hear, oftentimes nonprofits will say, well, I don't really have any donors in their 20s and 30s, or even on their younger side. And that's totally normal because most nonprofits don't. Part of that point of accepting crypto is to break into this new donor demographic. So we do tend to find that these are actually net new donors and net new dollars to the organizations that are new to accepting crypto. And again, a lot of these folks are making these donations for the tax benefit. And we'll get into kind of the tax benefit, tax treatment of crypto donations here in just a little bit. But these are folks that are searching on Google how to donate Bitcoin, what charities accept crypto. They're looking for places to make charitable donations. Because this is going to be not only a convenience factor for them because their wealth is stored in crypto, but also because of the tax incentive. And obviously you can see here at the end, the results, $10,500. That's the average donation size through the Giving Block platform this past year, which as you can obviously, guess, this is much, much greater, infinitely larger than the average cash gift that goes to the typical nonprofit. So truly, if you could build an ideal donor, I think it would look a heck of a lot like a potential crypto donor. So this is a good one here. I know obviously Bitcoin and cryptocurrency has been in the news a lot recently, especially with the news of the new Bitcoin ETF that was actually just approved recently here in the past couple of weeks. Again, though, don't let the headlines fool you. There has been a lot of crazy headlines flying around, not just recently with the Bitcoin ETF, but also in late 2023, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies have been declared dead many, many times, right? That's nothing new to the crypto industry. Crypto has fluctuated, 30% or more 16 times, right? Over 16 times here in the last decade or two. Crypto still might be the most tax efficient way for folks to give and to support your organization. And you can kind of see here the graphic, right? Even though maybe crypto is down a little bit right now from all-time highs, maybe in 2021 or 2022, most people out there are millions of investors who are still way, way up on their crypto investments. And this will show you that volatility, is not always a bad thing when it comes to crypto and philanthropy. Bitcoin's actually up more than 100% from the price it was exactly 1 year ago today. So if you had someone that invested in crypto, maybe in early January of 2023 or late 2022, that investment is up over 100%. If they've been holding for over a year, it might be a very tax advantaged way for them to give to your organization. This was a really interesting one too. So this is actually, you can see Google Analytics from 2020 through 2022. And actually more people have Googled the term, or you can see, excuse me, back in 2020, most folks were Googling donate stocks, more than donate Bitcoin. And we've actually seen that gap close here over the past couple of years. And actually in 2022, the term on Google search, donate stocks and donate Bitcoin, we're about equal. So you can kind of see here, relative to the amount of nonprofits that allow donors to donate stock, crypto donors don't really have that many options. That's why, when folks are Googling these sort of things, donate Bitcoin or donate stocks, they're going to be driven to the giving block. We're making sure that, our marketing team is spending money on Google Ads, Google Analytics to ensure that any folks that have an interest in donating crypto, there's a place for them to go and actually find all of these different vetted charities that are actually easily accepting their potential crypto donations. This is another big one we've been talking a lot about recently with our clients, donor advised funds. There are donor advised fund donations are on the rise. For those of you who maybe aren't as familiar with donor advised funds, they do allow donors to establish and fund. It's essentially a giving account. It's kind of like a giving checking account. They make a donation. Any person who has a donor advised fund, they make a donation to that account. It's an irrevocable, tax deductible contribution. And then DAFs, then at that point, they can sort of disperse and make grants from those DAFs to any number of charitable entities. So as you're probably all well aware, DAFs have grown exponentially in recent years. This chart here is actually from National NPT, National Philanthropic Trust. And this is I think it's their most recent annual report from 2022. And as you can see, some huge numbers, right? Contributions to DAFs in 2021 totaled 72 billion, the highest ever. And actually, I was just doing a quick Google search for 2022 numbers, and actually the disbursements from DAFs also was a record high in 2022 as well. So just a lot of really incredible growth here, and we want our clients to be able to speak to their potential donors, current supporters, new supporters about donor advised funds and how maybe it might be better to focus on trying to get more disbursements from an existing DAP to the charities. And again, all that we're trying to do here at the Giving Block is make this process of donors giving from their donor advised fund to you, the charity, more quickly, more easily. Next slide here, stock donations. Again, just kind of moving forward through these different non-cash assets. As I could see from the poll earlier, a good amount of you are accepting stock donations at your organization. This is the most common non-cash asset that charities do accept. It's probably the most popular. And as you can see, there's a huge opportunity here. Over 100 billion was donated in stock in 2022. And I am excited to kind of see where the 2023 numbers land. I'm pretty sure that we did even more here this past year. And obviously a huge market, right? Total addressable market, total value of the US stock market is right now hovering just over 50 trillion. All right, here's a cool one, asset potential, what donors have to give. So, I think it is really compelling, right, to kind of share with you the average kind of, the sizes of these gifts, but really just to kind of nail down the market size and the users. This is a great graphic, right? Just simply comparing the crypto users to stocks, and really what the average gift size looks like, right? You can kind of see here from 2022, the number of crypto donations, right? 69 million given in 2022 versus how much was given in stocks is 100 billion, right? Based on that market size, the amount of donations in crypto should be much, much larger than what it currently is. I think that, there's a couple of things, a couple of variables at play here. Number one, a lot of folks, a lot of investors didn't know or don't know currently that they can actually support their favorite charity or their favorite mission by donating crypto. That's going to be number one. So getting the news out there to the market, to investors that, hey, this is a very tax incentivized way to give. You can support your favorite charity by simply giving Bitcoin or Ethereum or USDC, whatever cryptocurrency you're currently holding. The other big thing too is that there's just not as many nonprofits accepting crypto out there as there are accepting stock. So just making sure that nonprofits, excuse me, understand how easy it can be to actually get into this market and accept crypto is going to be a big thing that we're trying to teach our nonprofit clients and folks that might consider accepting crypto here in the near future. Then this is a good slide too. Again, how are donors giving? Just in the different generations. It shows, here obviously the baby boomer generation, the most preferred asset to give is going to be stocks. Even Gen X, we do still see that the preferred asset donation method is going to be stocks as well. And then you really get into with the millennials and Gen Zs, again, those folks in their mid 20s up to their early 40s. Crypto and stocks are going to be kind of their preferred asset or preferred way to support their favorite charity. And then again, just talking about the average gift size, right? And these are going to be numbers from 2022. And I think it's really compelling to share with you all the average donation sizes again, because you see such a drastic difference, right, between the size of the average cash donation versus maybe a stock or crypto donation. So as you can see, average cash donation in 2022 to US charities was about $128. And then the average stock donation was somewhere between 5 and 10,000, and the average crypto donation was about 6,500. So as you can see, receiving one non-cash asset gift is going to be exponentially higher than receiving a cash gift. And then this is a good one, right? Going back to the tax efficiency, right? The IRS does treat donated cryptocurrency just like appreciated stock. So donors are able to write off these donations, both for all three methods, cash, stock, and crypto. But you can see there, donors can write off appreciation on donations just with those assets, right? Stock and crypto. And then again, donors are exempt from capital gains taxes when they do give an appreciated asset gift of stock or crypto. So really at the end of the day, that means that donors are typically able to give, maybe about 30% more with a non-cash gift like stock or crypto versus maybe that cash gift. And I love this graphic. It's just a really easy kind of side by side, just to kind of show you, okay, let's go through a quick comparison of how much more significantly a gift could be if a donor gave that asset directly to charity rather than actually selling the asset first and then donating the proceeds. So you can see here, maybe there's two donors that want to give $1 million to charity, right? If donor A wants to give appreciated crypto, it's at $1 million. They can actually give that crypto directly to the charity. They receive that full value, right? They receive the full $1 million. Whereas if donor B first sells that crypto, then has to pay capital gains taxes on whatever that appreciation was, the donor is going to incur a lot of taxes, right? You can see here in this graphic, 276,000. And then really what's left to give to the charity then is closer to 720,000, which as you can see is a huge decrease versus actually accepting that full asset one-to-one. Who fundraises crypto and stock? This is one thing that I find in my conversations on a daily basis with nonprofits is a lot of folks think that this accepting crypto might be fringe. One thing to note, it's absolutely not, right? You can see from some of the logos that we work with, we work with hospital systems, community foundations, food banks, animal shelters, humanitarian organizations. I think a lot of folks are surprised at how many well-known nonprofits are actually already actively accepting crypto. And then one thing to note too, it's not only the big nonprofits, right? You will see a lot of these, large kind of blue chip charities, well known maybe nationally or international organizations. But actually, when we look at the client list here at the Giving Block, we've got about 2,500 nonprofits that are actively accepting crypto with us, as well as other non-cash assets. About 75% of the organizations here at the Giving Block are kind of those small to medium-sized nonprofits. So maybe somewhere between $1 million to $5 million or $10 million in what I would consider annual revenue or total operating budget. The other thing here, to mention is, we've helped nonprofits, we've helped build hundreds of successful crypto and non-cash fundraising programs. A lot of these nonprofits are raising maybe 6 or 7 figures in crypto and stock donations year after year. The key takeaway here, right, as you can see, is that we work with organizations of all shapes and sizes. Nonprofits have realized the benefit of diversifying revenue, and they're starting to cater towards those younger, maybe digital native philanthropists. Where is non-cash asset fundraising going? I think one of the big things is a deeper focus on tax education. Again, not only the tax education sort of from our end, working with our nonprofit clients, making sure that, the executive directors, the chief development officers, major gifts officers that we're working with uh, understand, right, the tax incentive and how to talk to major gift potential donors about the tax efficient ways to support their charity. It's also helping you, the nonprofit, the folks on the front lines, be able to have these conversations with those donors as well. So many individuals hold stock in crypto, but not everyone is tax savvy enough or knowledgeable about the most tax efficient ways to actually give crypto or to actually give to the nonprofit. So again, education is key in order to unlock those larger gifts. And really, as we continue to expand and share the tax incentive of donating crypto all throughout the crypto ecosystem, crypto donors, just from kind of the work that we're doing, are coming to us and saying, hey, I've got, this appreciated Bitcoin. I want to support an organization or a charity that focuses on XYZ mission. And we can kind of play matchmaker, right? And say, hey, we'd love for you to get in touch with the advancement or fundraising team at, XYZ nonprofit, because I think you would really enjoy learning more about their mission. And then the second part here, right, the great wealth transfer, right? It's already starting to happen and will continue to accelerate here in the very near future. Remember, that stat we talked about earlier, 83% of millennial millionaires have crypto, and there's $70 trillion that's going to be going into the hands of these Gen Zs and millennials with windfall wealth transfers, estate gifts, inheritance gifts. A lot of this money is predicted to inflow into the crypto markets. So that's one thing to just kind of remember as we continue to see this great wealth transfer happening is, where are these younger folks that are receiving these transfers? Where are they typically investing, right? Because those investments probably aren't going to change. We're going to see a lot more investing and cash going into these different assets. So moving on here into section 3, how does this all work, right? So just want to quickly kind of show you what a crypto donation form looks like, and you can kind of see here, this is our donation form. It's mobile optimized. It's a very simple iframe, kind of like an embed code that we would simply give to you as a nonprofit client so that you can copy and paste this right on your existing donation page, your giving page, your ways of support, wherever you feel that, this donation or this donation form would best be fit on your website. So this allows your donors to select crypto, stock, DAF, or credit card donations right on your website without having to actually be redirected to any third-party sites and make these donations right there on your own giving page. So this is what the crypto giving experience looks like, right? And the other nice thing too, we have automations in place. So automatic conversion to US dollars. You're not having to hold crypto. It's immediately liquidated. So there's no lag time, no volatility in the markets. We also do handle automated donor receipts as well as automatic tax documentation. The second one here is going to be, what if a donor wants to give stock? If you're familiar with handling stock donations and how labor intensive it is, both for the donor and for your team, this is a game changer, right? The donor can give stock in literally a number of clicks, right? We have all publicly traded available stock and ETFs here on the Giving Block donation form. And again, this is going to be a simple widget or donation form that lives right on your own website. So any current supporters, people going to your website, can easily find how to support via stock here, go through this process, select where their broker is. Everything's handled digitally, right? You as a nonprofit don't have to do anything on the background either. It's really a nice, extremely time efficient way to process your stock gifts, not only from your end, but also from your donor's perspective. Click next here. Donor advised funds, right? We actually work with a really awesome company and integration called Chariot, enabling DAF donations for all of our clients through their DAF Pay technology. And actually, you can kind of see here, DAF donations or DAF distributions are made with 3 simple clicks. Again, I'm sure some of you out there are familiar with the guessing game that starts with when a DAF check comes in, right? It comes in the mail, spending needless time trying to track it down, reaching out to the DAF provider. Maybe it didn't come with the donor's name. This is going to save you and your team a ton of time as well as your donor's time by making the staff transfer happen right on your end again without having to be redirected to any third-party sites. Data and reporting. This is going to be a big one, right? How are we able to track the donations and the donors that are giving to you through the Giving Block donation forms? That's where our dashboard comes into play, right? We have a real-time live 24/7 dashboard that comprises all of your donor information, transaction information, and reporting. And we also do integrate with most CRMs, which makes it a really easy process to actually get the information from the Giving Block dashboard over into your native CRMs, your financial software that you may be using, BlackBooks or QuickBooks, those sort of things. And again, we automate tax receipts at the time of donations. You've got your donors on file here on the back end. So all of that is going to be really easy for you to kind of monitor and manage all of the, not only the donations that are coming in through the Giving Block, but also the donor information that's going to be here through the Giving Block. I did just allude to integration partners. And again, speaking of saving time, we do have a ton of integrations throughout the crypto and tech ecosystem. So, integrations with organizations and software like Salesforce, Omatic, Zapier, Monday.com, to name a few. What we're trying to do here is at the Giving Block is make your non-cash fundraising systems and strategies as efficient and easy as possible. Section 4 here. And again, I do see a couple of questions here in the Q&A. Please continue to drop those questions in the Q&A or the chat box. We'll make sure to save a little time here at the end to address any questions that you might have. And again, this will be recorded. So for any folks that weren't able to tune in today, maybe some colleagues or folks from your finance department or fundraising teams, we'll definitely be sending those out here as well. All right, so just again, some of those trends that we're seeing here from 2023 and 2022 and 2023. So, you can see here in 2022, we saw a leap in donations in April and June, again, kind of depending on what's going on. April donations were going to be attributed to donors wanting to make an impact in Ukraine, right? That's when the crisis over in Ukraine was just getting started there in 2022. In June, we had a huge Pride Month campaign. So a lot of our folks and organizations focused on the LGBTQ organizations, saw a huge increase in donations there. And then really throughout, we did see more young donors who just wanted to give crypto and stocks through the Giving Block and really giving to causes that, make a noticeable impact on the causes that they care about. And in 2023, we're seeing again, with different things going on. We had the Syria and Turkey earthquakes. We had the Maui wildfires, excuse me. Did a lot of different fundraisers throughout 2023 that focused on different things that were going on here in the US as well as worldwide. Active non-cash fundraising is winning out. This is going to be a big one, right? We're finding people right now want to keep cash on hand in this economic environment, right? With inflation, with everything that's going on, people instead want to give assets, right? We still encourage, of course, you to be actively fundraising regardless of what's going on in the markets, because again, remember, when it comes back to crypto, volatility can actually be good sometimes. So, tying this all in here, we are seeing that active non-cash fundraising is winning out, right? The most successful clients that we see here at the Giving Block are those who view crypto and stock donors as a new donor demographic to work with, instead of maybe passively waiting for these donors to actually find them or these donation methods on their website. Investing in technology. This is going to be a big one, right? We're seeing more nonprofits pouring resources, both monetary resources as well as time, into the tools that will help them spend their time more efficiently and effectively. I don't know if any of you have started using ChatGPT yet, which is obviously mind-boggling, but technology is moving at an extremely rapid pace. You're going to want to learn and embrace these new technologies before they become commonplace, especially, again, at the pace of this rapid evolution that we're seeing. So again, you need to skate to where the puck is going, right? It's going, and also meet these donors where they're at and how they want to give, right? Face-to-face meetings with your donors will always be important, of course. But as teams are looking to expand and do more with the limited resources that they have, tech is really what we think will help them hit their goals quicker, more effectively, more efficiently. Key data highlights from our annual report. And again, these are going to be numbers from 2022. So Really excited for our new annual report, our 2023 annual report, to come out here, hopefully here in the next few weeks. So definitely stay tuned. That's going to be announced here on all of our social media, on our websites. If you're receiving our email notifications, we're really excited for that new 2023 annual report here to actually come out here in just a few weeks. But some key data and highlights from 2022: more than 120 million in crypto has been donated via the Giving Block to date. Right, these are going to be just kind of the big numbers. You can see also in 2022, over 1,000 nonprofit organizations joined the Giving Block as a client, which was obviously a record number of nonprofits who actively started to accept crypto and stock and DAF donations through the Giving Block. One of the largest donations that we processed in 2022 was $9.4 million, and is actually still the largest donation to date. That was actually to one of our clients, the University of Maryland. That actually came from Vitalik Buterin, who is the co-founder of Ethereum. And at the bottom here, you can see USDC which is a stable coin, if you're unfamiliar, was actually the most donated cryptocurrency to the Giving Block clients. Section 5, some key takeaways. So number one, features of a modern successful non-cash philanthropy program. Trying to, number one, make this easy for your fundraising team, right? This is where we say, again, revenue is not the same as ROI, right? You shouldn't have to hire an additional person on your team to actually manage or run a non-cash fundraising strategy or program. Instead, outsource everything to a company like the Giving Block, right? Where we're offering the product and technology to make this really easy, not only for your team, the automations with the receipting, conversions to US dollars, reporting. We can kind of act as an extension to your development team, right? You don't have to handle all of the complexities of crypto and stock and other non-cash donations, because really we've got it covered for you. So make it easy for you and your fundraising team. Number two, do not neglect donor needs, right? This is a non-traditional way of giving and a new way of fundraising. So you need to meet these donors where they are and to be able to really communicate with them, how they're looking to give, right? Nonprofits, we need to remember, right? Nonprofits are not the only ones involved in a donation, right? At a bare minimum, donors need things like automated receipts, private client services for maybe these complex donations of, small cap cryptocurrencies or NFTs, or maybe some unique scenarios, and really a support team that can get them answers so that they don't hurt themselves in the process. And then the third key takeaway of a modern successful philanthropy program is, again, do not just accept these non-cash assets. We really want our clients and folks out there to explore fundraising assets. We're extremely focused on helping you fundraise, right? We don't want you spelling Bitcoin with 2 words and scaring off donors. We want to help you with these best practices, right? Be active in communities, be active on social media, plug into some new groups. A little bit of effort can really go a long way with these new sort of younger donors and this new donor demographic. We do find that, you can't just throw a donate crypto button on your page and expect gifts to start pouring in. We really help our clients and want our clients to activate and grow strategies around crypto and stock and DAF giving. That's where we tend to see the organizations who are seeing some major results. Again, we're trying to focus on these 2 things, right? Helping you and your donors, your nonprofit clients, save time and also maximize revenue. Those are the 2 main focuses here for the Giving Block and all of our clients at the nonprofits we serve. Last section here, just how to get started. Just a brief overview of the timeline to actually getting you set up. And of course, before you even consider really, implementing something like this, we ask that you do talk to someone here at the Giving Block. Schedule a quick 20 or 30-minute demo and really prepare that, to have that internal conversation with other key stakeholders at the organization. Whether it's with folks from the finance team, an executive director, maybe some folks on the marketing and communications team. We at the Giving Block are trying to help our nonprofits, our champions here, to prepare for that internal conversation. And then once you get that approval internally from the team, hey, yes, this is something we want to do, we can help you open up the Giving Block account, and that process typically takes about 1 week. So from start to finish, it's about a week. We help you sort of create a donate non-cash assets page right on your website. we help you sort of announce publicly to current supporters, maybe new supporters, that you're now accepting non-cash assets like crypto stock and DAFs, and even work with strategists from the Giving Block to help you earn, convert, and steward, those non-cash donors. Last poll here, and then we can get to some of those questions that I know have been coming in here through the chat and the Q&A box. Let's go ahead and go back here. This is just a simple get in touch poll, so don't feel like you have to answer this, but if you would like to get in touch with someone here at the Giving Block, a member of our team, go ahead and click yes. That will just give us the opportunity to see who, wants to learn a little bit more about the Giving Block. Maybe just schedule a quick one-on-one conversation just to kind of go through maybe things we covered today, maybe answer some questions more in depth. But go ahead and put in here, yes, please, if you would like to set up a time to schedule a meeting one-on-one with a Giving Block, a member of our team, or just click not yet if maybe right now is not the right time, and maybe at a later date you may want to consider actually setting up a one-on-one demo. All right. Thank you again for answering the polls there. All right, we've made it to the end here. At this time, I would love to begin reviewing any and all questions. So I'm going to go into the chat here in the Q&A box. Definitely try to get to as many as I can. And again, just a reminder, this presentation was recorded. So if you think any of your colleagues, or if any of your colleagues were unable to attend today, or maybe you think this presentation will be useful for another nonprofit that you work with in your network, feel free to share. I believe this recording will be sent to you via email, the email that you signed up with, here in the next day or two. So let's go ahead and get to these questions. All right. Here in the Q&A, can you share how nonprofits can begin accepting Bitcoin and crypto as donations? Yeah, definitely. I think, I can see this as a question from early in the conversation. So I hope I kind of answered that question there just a little bit on more on how actual nonprofits can begin accepting crypto. We always say, first do your due diligence, look at partners out there who can actually help you accept crypto in a really safe, secure, and easy way. And of course, that's the name of the game here. That's what we're trying to do with the Giving Block. Really help our nonprofits explore this opportunity, again, in a safe, easy way to make sure that you and your organization are doing things the right way. Another question here, how would the donation form work in other countries? Does this automatically always go to US dollars? Great question. For cryptocurrency, most of the organizations, international clients, we do work with about 20 different countries, clients in 20 different countries, not just here in the US. We do tend to find that most organizations want to benefit from the auto liquidation feature, and all donations will be automatically converted to US dollars. So we work with different organizations, based on preference, but, typically it could be a wire transfer in US dollars to the organization. And then really, maybe it's up to you then to convert the US dollars to whatever maybe your native currency might be. And then, yep, another great question there. Is it also possible for organizations outside the US? Absolutely. Go to thegivingblock.com. If you click donate, you'll be able to actually see a list of all the 2,500 nonprofit clients. And you can actually filter by where nonprofits are located. So if you wanted to, filter by the organizations that are based in the United Kingdom, or maybe organizations that are based in, Germany or South America, you can actually do that. And you can see all the different organizations that are based in the areas outside of the US. All right, now to the questions here in the chat. Can't a small charity just accept crypto donations if we have a crypto wallet? Absolutely, yeah. A lot of organizations actually, prior to working with the Giving Block, did have a crypto wallet set up. Maybe they were accepting crypto donations in the past. There's a couple of things to remember, right? If you have your own crypto wallet, you are, taking all of the security there at your own risk, right? You're managing that wallet. You're then having to manage any liquidations that are coming in. If you want to liquidate to US dollars, if you want to hold crypto, tax receipting, that's on your own, right? And then again, the other thing too, with, depending on if you're holding the crypto at an exchange or a wallet, whether it's a hot wallet, a cold wallet, there's going to be a lot of different scenarios at play there. So even if you do have an existing crypto wallet, we have had a lot of charities come to us and say, hey, we've got this. Is there a better way to do things? Are we doing things the most safe and effective way? I think it's always best to still have the conversation just to make sure that any risks are going to be mitigated through conversation. Another good question on wallets. Are crypto wallets self-custody, and can charities choose when to sell or convert at any time? So great couple of questions there. So crypto wallets self-custody. For the giving block, that's going to be no, right? That's going to be hosted through our partner, which is Gemini. So these are actually going to be held through sort of a non-custodial account. That's how that process works here. So you don't actually have to self-custody. And if you're about self-custody, that that's going to be a lot of different things involved in that process. And then can charities choose when to sell convert at any time? Yes, we do have a handful of charities here at the Giving Block that do have the auto liquidation feature turned off. And based on investment strategy, based on maybe a policy, they're actually holding cryptocurrency in their accounts that they have at the Giving Block. And maybe they're choosing to convert to US dollars at a later point in time. Maybe they think the markets are going to go up here in the short term in 2024. Whatever the process may be, you can work with your support person at the Giving Block to ensure that we can help you with whatever you're looking to get out of your crypto philanthropy journey. Good question here. How does the Giving Block get paid, and are there fees? So great question. We do have transaction fees. We have a few different package options here. Always say here, and also if you filled out yes on that last poll, we can definitely talk in more depth about, transaction fees, package fees, how that all works on the back end in a one-on-one conversation. All right. How many active crypto users in the US only? What are the best channels for successfully acquiring non-cash asset donors? Both really great questions. I think for the active crypto users, I think that was around 60 million active crypto users just here in the US. I know the numbers were above 300 million worldwide, but we do find roughly 60 million active crypto users here in the US. And then the second part of your question, what are the best channels for successfully acquiring non-cash asset donors? There's going to be a bunch of them. I think, one of the big ones is going to be social media. A lot of our strategists on our teams who are working one-on-one with our nonprofit clients have helped those clients focus on building a non-cash asset fundraising strategy through social media. So whether that's through Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, or now X, a lot of our nonprofits have actually found crypto donors on those different social media channels. And the way in which you can target and maybe cultivate those opportunities with crypto donors and other non-cash donors are going to be kind of unique ways that, again, we're going to help all of our nonprofit clients explore those best ways to do just that. Really, really great questions. Go back here into the Q&A. Is there a minimum revenue size that you consider is needed to making working with the Giving Block feasible? I wouldn't say there's necessarily a minimum revenue size. That's going to kind of depend on different organizations. It might just be, what's the appetite for you and your fundraising team or your finance team, your gift processing team, to really explore an active non-cash fundraising strategy. I will say that we do tend to find that, organizations that probably have at least a few $100,000, 100,000 US dollars worth of fundraising or total annual revenue budget tend to get the most out of the Giving Block, because honestly, just those organizations that are maybe below 100 or 200,000 may want to be focusing their time on other things outside of non-cash fundraising at this point in time. All right, I think I answered most of the questions here, and we are at time here. Are there any final questions that I could address? Feel free to drop those in the chat. And again, this was recorded, so definitely you'll be receiving the recorded webinar in your email inbox here in just a couple of days. And thank you again for joining. I hope you really enjoyed today's webinar. I hope you got something from it. And again, if there are any additional questions, please feel free to reach out to the Giving Block. We've got a contact us form on our website. If you want to reach out to me directly, my email address is simply andrew@thegivingblock.com. So any questions, follow-up questions, feel free to direct those to myself as well as the team here at the Giving Block. But if there are no further questions, I will leave you with that. And again, thank you so much for joining. And we hope to see you again soon and maybe even set up a one-on-one conversation with you and your team here in the near future. All right. Thanks again for joining, everyone. And we'll leave you with that. And take care. Bye now.